Welcome to pile number 1. Your warning for today comes with an arm around your shoulders and a voice that is firm but deeply kind. Because the Nine of Swords is one of the most psychologically charged cards in the entire tarot. And it has arrived today not to frighten you but to shine a light on something that genuinely needs your attention. This card shows a figure sitting bolt upright in bed, head in hands, 9 swords mounted on the wall behind them in the darkness of the small hours. And the warning it carries is this. Today, your mind is not a reliable narrator. Be very careful about what you choose to believe about yourself, your situation, and your future in the next 24 hours. The Nine of Swords is the card of anxiety, of catastrophic thinking, of the particular cruelty of a mind that takes the worst possible interpretation of events and presents it as inevitable truth. And today, that tendency is heightened. There may be a thought spiral already beginning. The kind that starts with one small worry and builds with terrifying efficiency into a towering structure of fear and worst-case scenarios that feels completely real and completely inescapable. The warning is to catch it early. The moment you notice your thoughts beginning to darken and accelerate, recognize what is happening, not as truth revealing itself, but as anxiety doing what anxiety does. Be particularly careful today about the stories you tell yourself in the quiet moments, the ones that arrive uninvited at 3 in the morning or in the pause between tasks. The narrative that says you have failed, that things will not work out, that you are alone in this, that the worst is not just possible but certain. That narrative is not prophecy. It is fear wearing the costume of logic. Ground yourself fiercely today. Breathe deliberately. Put your feet on the floor and name 5 things you can see. Talk to someone you trust rather than disappearing into the labyrinth of your own thoughts alone. The swords on the wall in this card are not actually piercing the figure. They are mounted behind them. The danger today is almost entirely in the mind. Do not let it convince you otherwise. Welcome to pile number 2. Your warning for today is delivered at full gallop, with the wind at its back and absolutely no intention of slowing down, which is precisely the problem. The Knight of Swords charges into this reading with his sword raised and his horse at full tilt, all momentum and conviction and breathtaking speed. And the warning he carries is one that this energy almost never wants to hear. Slow down. Think before you act, before you speak, before you send, before you decide, before you charge headlong into a situation that deserves considerably more care and consideration than you are currently giving it. There is something today that is going to tempt you toward impulsive action. A conversation that pushes a button and makes you want to respond immediately and at full force. A decision that feels urgent and clear-cut in this moment, but that you may see very differently once the adrenaline has settled. An email, a message, a confrontation, a dramatic gesture that feels completely justified right now, and that the Knight of Swords energy will absolutely encourage you to unleash without pausing to consider the consequences. The warning is simple and non-negotiable. Pause. Just pause. The Knight of Swords is not without gifts. His clarity, his courage, his willingness to cut through pretense and speak difficult truths are genuinely valuable qualities. But today those qualities need a hand on the reins. Because without that steadying influence, the line between courageous honesty and unnecessary destruction becomes dangerously thin. Ask yourself before you act. Is this the right moment, the right method, and the right motivation? Am I moving towards something genuinely important, or am I simply reacting to something that has made me feel threatened or wronged? The truth you want to speak and the action you want to take may well be right and necessary. But today, the delivery and the timing matter enormously. Choose them with the care this situation deserves. Welcome to pile number 3. Your warning for today is one that arrives quietly, without drama, but with a significance that is worth taking seriously. The Four of Pentacles shows a figure clutching their coins with both hands and feet, one balanced on their head, an expression on their face of rigid, white-knuckled guardedness. And while the instinct to protect what you have built is entirely understandable, today this card is warning you that the holding on has tipped, or is in danger of tipping, into something that is beginning to cost you more than it is protecting you. The warning today is about fear dressed up as caution. There is a difference between wise discernment, the healthy, grounded decision to protect your resources, your energy, your heart, your finances, and the kind of fearful hoarding that slowly but surely cuts you off from the flow of life. The Four of Pentacles in its shadow asks whether you are holding so tightly to what you have that nothing new can enter, whether the walls you have built to keep loss out have also, quietly, been keeping abundance, connection, and possibility out as well. Today, notice where you are clenching. Notice where the grip is tightest, and ask yourself honestly whether that tightness is serving you. This warning may be most relevant in one of several areas. Finances, where fear of scarcity may be leading to decisions that are ultimately more limiting than protective. Relationships, where emotional guardedness that began as self-preservation has calcified into a distance that is leaving you lonelier than you intended to be. Or energy and generosity, where a very understandable need to stop overgiving has swung so far in the opposite direction that you are no longer allowing yourself to participate openly in the world around you. Today, find one place where you can loosen the grip just slightly. Not recklessly, not all at once, just enough to let a little air in. Enough to remember that life, in all its fullness, flows, and you were always meant to flow with it.